Good morning, girls. Good morning, boys. Welcome to the podcast. It's Monday morning, and guess bloody what? This is the sodding second time that I've done this podcast because I did it yesterday and it didn't record. Well, it did record, but the sound didn't work because we had cleaners come in and they pressed all my little buttons when they went with a cloth and it turned off the sound. So wonderful. So I had to record it all over again. Right. Okay. So basically on Mondays, what we do is we go through what happened last week and what I want to achieve this week. Very simple. Last week, the biggest thing for me at the minute is family because we only get 18 summers. 18 summers, people, 18 summers. So I want to be there as much as possible with my family. And it's got to be said that, yeah, definitely work suffering because I haven't spent a lot of time at work. Don't get me wrong. I've still been working. I've been doing the big things, and the big things are the big things. I mean, I've got a lot of big things going on. However, I haven't been doing the little things. And it's incredible. My takeaway is incredible that the amount of time we spend doing the little things that don't really matter, it doesn't impact your life. Yes, the one thing I feel bad about is that I haven't replied to emails. I have been terrible at replying to emails. However, that is the only thing. I've probably been working an hour a day, and everything gets done that needs to get done. And it's amazing how much we fill as business owners, we fill our day with shit that doesn't really matter, that doesn't really move the needle. I've only been doing tasks and jobs that move the needle substantially. If they are done, then I'm happy. And so it's really been a takeaway for me these holidays, thinking this is the least I've ever worked in holidays. We're going away again tomorrow in the caravan. So now we've got a little tour. We want to go away as much as possible. And then we've got another little 4 or 5 mini holidays booked before the end of the Blackpool. I think it's four little mini holidays in the caravan or in Blackpool. Woo, Blackpool for 2 nights in a hotel. So yeah, and so I'm trying to make I'm trying to make sure that I make this time as good and as memorable as possible for the kids. Because like I say, we've only got 18 summers, and you might not even have 18 summers because when they're 18, they probably don't want to spend time with you. I've got a friend who has children older than me, and I bumped into him at park, and he was saying that, yeah, the problem is, Dean, and he's very, very fortunate because he can go away when he wants. His money's not a problem. Money's not an issue. And he's already been away once, and he wants to go away again on abroad, but he can't, or he's getting pushback from his eldest because he just wants to play with his friends. I'm like, holy shit, he's not even that old. That's going to happen to all of us. And I'm thinking, we've got 18 summers, but we haven't really got 18 summers. We've only got probably 9 or 10 where we can tell the kids, look, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. And you're coming with us, whatever you say. And then when they get maybe 11, 12, 13, then they might want to start playing out with their friends and going to park on their own and stuff like that. I'm like, oh man. So big takeaway for me is I've got to make the most of this holiday because I was saying to my wife, I haven't really got anything in my life apart from my work and my family, my kids. And so the problem is when the kids no longer want to hang around with me, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in depression or something because I love this time. So Zach and Kai, you better still come and see me and stuff when we're older. We better still have an amazing friendship and be best friends, best mates. Because honestly, it's just that. And by the way, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be going out with my mates, drinking and stuff. I just want to be, that's what I enjoy. But the only problem is that I know that I'm going to try and handcuff them as long as possible to me, saying, no, you can't go eat friends. You're still young still. Anyway, so that's been my takeaway of the holidays, that a lot of my time is spent doing shit that I don't really need to do. And so it's good having this audit where I only have a finite amount of time. And so it means I've got to make the most of the time I have, because if I don't, then, I've got to be productive in the time I have. And so stuff on my to-do list has to get off and just go. And I need to forget it. And it's realized that, guess what? It don't really matter. It's like the hamster website. That's had to go. That's one of the big things. The hamster website that I have, I got up to making £1,800 a month. And now it's down to £1,000 because I haven't put any love, care, and attention into it. So I've lost £800 a month from it. And I've realized that, guess what? That don't fucking matter. Don't affect my life whatsoever. And so ultimately, I was spending time, which is my biggest resource. I was spending time on that website. And I wasn't spending a lot of time, by the way. A lot of it was more thinking time. And a lot of it was checking the stats and making sure and getting in touch with people saying, like, what articles can we write? And it don't really matter. It's not really important. Yes, it's nice to have an outside income and stuff, but luckily I'm at that point now with storage where that doesn't impact my life. And so that's been taken off the table. I don't even think about that anymore, which is really, really bad. And it's a shame because I don't want to run it into the ground. And so I've got to do something with it. So I'm going to do a JV, joint venture with somebody, and have a revenue share where I said, listen, you take it to the next level and I'll pay you half of everything that moves forward from this point forward, kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so that's been the takeaway for me, that a lot of the crap that I do doesn't really matter. And so I only need to focus on the 4%, the 4% of tasks that get 64% of the results, because it's the 80-20 Pareto principle divided by itself. And so that's 464. So 4% of the tasks that I do get 64% of the results. And I think that is true for me. And so I don't really need to do, I need to do 4% things. That's it. 4% of tasks really matter for me. And so I need to keep it a high level, high value. So this last week, what have I been doing? We'll talk about high level. I can't say too much about, I can't give you any specifics because the problem is it's still ongoing. And I've been bitten once, twice, 3 times by giving too much away. And so many people tell me to stop giving so much away. And I never want to stop giving things away and tell you how things are going, because this is documented for my kids. I can't wait for my kids to listen to this. So I never want to stop giving you the insights and information, what I'm going through. But when I'm actually going through it, I can't give you too much information because I don't want to affect the outcome right now, right here. And so I will tell you, I'll be honest and open in the future, but we just can't tell you too much right now. So got a phone call from Lincoln, and my landlord's from Lincoln. So maybe it's my landlord. So yes. Right. In self-storage, I've got so many opportunities and so many things I want to do, but there's debts I've got to take on. Now, what got me here where I am right now was being aggressive with debt and being aggressive with risk. But the problem is now I have something to lose. Back then, when I first started the self-storage, I was a mess of a man. Not a mess of a man. I think that's probably a little bit extended, a little bit, but not much, because I was a mess. I was somebody who had just come from a failed business. It was the worst 18 months of my life. It was horrendous. It was dreadful. It was horrible. It made me feel a failure as a man. I felt like I couldn't support my family, my kids. And genuinely, I sat and cried many, many times because I just felt like that this isn't what my wife signed up for. This isn't what my kids wanted. I lost every single bit of savings. I lost my dad's 6 figures. I lost me 6 figures. And I just felt like an absolute failure. That was only 6 years ago, 5 years ago. But it's amazing how things can change and how quickly things can change. And so I risked everything. I risked the farm. I put the house on the line for the storage. And so if anything went wrong with self-storage, it meant my family would be homeless. Not homeless, but we'd have to go in the council house and stuff like that. And so we risked a lot. We risked everything. Personal guarantees, the lot, you name it. And now when I look back at what we did, I would never take them risks that I did back then now, because I don't need to. I've got something to lose. Last month, again, talking about money, but I want to be open with everybody that we had the best month ever. We netted £57,000 last month we netted, which is absolutely incredible. By the way, I don't get that at all. It gets reinvested in the company, and because I want to expand, and to expand, the company needs the money. So I get a very, 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 very small proportion of that. It's just a normal standard wage, because it's not about now, it's about the future. It's about playing the game. And so the game is for me expanding. So it all gets chunked back into the company. So the risk now, the risk I took then, I don't want to take now. And so with these opportunities that I've got, there's 1, 2, 3 different opportunities that I want to look at. However, how much risk do I want to do? The debt that I take on, because with self-storage, you need to take on debt. You can't do it any other way unless you're a multi. You can't, even if millionaire don't cut it, you still need to take on debt. And so what sort of debt leverage do I want to take on, and how do I want to do it? So there's opportunities in place, but do I want to take them on because I'm leveraging debt, massive debt, and I'm taking risks? and how much risk do I want to take on right now? Obviously, I've got to take risks on. I'm a risk taker. I'm a gambler. I'm a bettor. And so betting, gambling is part of being a business owner. You are gambling every single day. Mind you, going to work and working for the man, you are gambling as well. You are betting that the man is successful. You are betting that your company you work for is successful. So we're all betting. It's just wrapped up differently in different packaging material. So what sort of debts do I want to take on? And so it's been a lot of thinking time for me. It's been non-stop thinking time for me. And that is probably the biggest thing that I do is thinking. But it's got to be structured thinking as well. So I go for long walks. I start thinking about what's right, what's wrong, how can we do certain things. And so that has been very, very important for me. And this next week going forward as well, I still need to think and consider what we do going forward and how we do it, what wrapping material we put around it, what sort of debt we use. And do I want to take on certain sites or do I not? And so it's a wonder. It's fantastic because we've got options, but I just need to think about which is the correct option. And like Dan Bradbury said to me, he said that there probably isn't one standout option. They're probably all good options, but one doesn't stand out. One takeaway for me as well, quickly for you guys, is thinking time. Thinking time is so important, but so underutilized. Every single person needs thinking time, whether you work for somebody else or you work for yourself. You still need that time to process the information, process the things that are happening around you to make the best decisions for your family. For me, these decisions that I've got to make, they're going to impact my family for generations. So we need to make sure that they are good, strong decisions, the right decisions. And there's no simple way of doing it. There's no way of getting the right decisions. And so it's trial and error, baby. Right. So last week, that's what I did. So in terms of the jobs that I wrote down, paint Supergrand's fence. Luckily, I was away on holiday most of the week last week, and my dad painted Grandma's fence for me. By the way, in the previous episode, I said that my grandma is an amazing individual, and I just wanted to pay tribute, really. I mean, sounds like she's dead, but she's not. She's still alive. She's 90 years old, broke her hip about 3 months ago. And honestly, she's been an absolute inspiration. Nobody can complain when you see what my grandma's been through in the last 3 months, and she's just got on with it. She's been happy. She's been motivated. And she's just been inspirational the way she's done things. And so, yeah, 90 years old, and she does absolutely incredible. Record all podcasts for August. I didn't do that, but I've recorded a hell of a lot. I've nearly done it. Actually, I think I have. I think I've done that, but not for the storage one. So yeah, so nearly. Continue with every website and content. Yeah, done that. Still need to continue on with that. Do about me section. Haven't done that. That'll be done today. YouTube channel for the kids. Start the process. I started the process. I've looked up the camera, but this is one of those things that, yes, it'll be good to do for the kids, but it doesn't really matter. It's a passion project rather than anything else. It might make money. It might not make money, but it's ultimately, it's not going to move the needle for me. Storage is the one thing that moves the needle. That's the 4%. That YouTube channel for the kids is outside the 4%. I think it'll be good for the kids. I think it'll grow them. I think it'll make you, Zach and Kai, better individuals and more confident to have a YouTube channel and start talking on camera. I know it's done amazing stuff for me. And so it is something important to me. But in school holidays, it's probably not going to get done. Emails, no, I haven't done that. Contact investors about borrowing the money. Yeah, I've put 300K here. Turns out I need treble that for what I need to do. So yeah, I've done that somewhat, but not every individual, because I want to know which way I'm going first of all before I've spoke for the projects that we've got on. Yes, I've spoke to the investors about that and got the money in the bag, but the other projects I don't know which way we're going. So no, I haven't spoke to every single investor because we don't know what we're doing. Right. So that's what we did. That's what I did last week. This week, it's about basically about making the correct decisions. It's about making the correct decisions and doing cash flow forecasts, doing projections. That's what I'm doing today. And then the rest of the week, I'm on holiday with the kids in my caravan. Right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Holy shit, it's been 29 minutes of chatting. Whoa, Jesus Christ. Right, that's it. See you soon. Love you. Appreciate you. Bye.